Hello, everybody. Eric here on Wednesday, December 28th, comic book day. And I picked up almost all of my comics. Uh, there was some confusion. There were things that weren't delivered to the shop. All sorts of craziness going on. But I got a big stack of stuff. And we're going to go through it right now. And first up is Batman Beyond the White Knight. Number 7 from DC, Black Label. As I say every time, this has been a great series of mini-series from Sean Murphy. Just an alternate world version of Batman and all the Gotham characters. Really, really wild stuff. Then we have a book that they had just unpacked while I was there because a bunch of their shipments were late. But this is Creepshow issue 4. And who the heck put this out? Image. I think this is the last issue. I don't know. And I don't know about any alternate covers because they literally pulled this out of the box and gave it to me. But nice anthology horror in the vein of Creepshow, the movies and the TV show. And then we have Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, number 4 of 6. The horror story from DC, written by Bruce Campbell. And it's been pretty wild. Basically just Sergeant Rock and Easy Company fighting zombies in World War II. But a lot of fun. And then, bringing things to a close, DC versus Vampires, number 12 of 12. I've really enjoyed this series, and it's going to be interesting to see how it ends. I think maybe Batgirl might have something to do with it. Who knows? Another series coming to an end. The Nice House on the Lake, issue 12, or book 12. From DC, Black Label. This has been a wild ride. I don't really want to tell you too much about it. It's a weird horror, sci-fi, messing with your mind kind of story. But I recommend it, so I don't want to tell you too much about it. I don't want to give anything away in case anybody reads it. Really good story, though. Hopefully they can stick the landing. Then we have Moon Knight, number 18. And this is the special Peach Momoko cover. I think every title that came out from Marvel has the Marvel Universe by Peach Momoko on it. There was another cover that had Moon Knight and Tigra, which was really tempting, but I really like Peach Momoko's stuff, so I went with that. And then we have Timeless, number 1, which last year there was a Timeless number 1. Now there's another Timeless number 1. And this is just sort of it's a book that sets up the storylines that are coming in the next year from Marvel. So we'll see. We'll see what this does. It's got Kang on it. I like Kang. All right. Some independent stuff did come in. It was weird because they said our independent books didn't come in, but then they had a bunch of independent books, but then there were a bunch they didn't have. Here's some they did. This is Door to Door, Night by Night, number 2 from Vault Comics. It's Cullen Bunn. This is the one about door-to-door salesmen who are also monster hunters. And then we have West of Sundown, number 7, Vampire Western. A lot of horror stuff this week. From Vault Comics. This has been a long time coming. This is, I believe it's the final issue. This is Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons, number 3, DC, Black Label, one of the big ones, obviously. And I believe it was just a 3-issue miniseries. Ooh. some sketches in the back. Yep, looks like it's over. But again, Black Label does more adult content, alternate universe, like Elseworlds kind of content, usually with very beautiful art. All right, now the biggie. Very excited about this. I just noticed it says Black Label. So DC will occasionally retroactively add labels to things. So Batman Gotham by Gaslight had come out as this one-shot graphic novel. It was Batman versus Jack the Ripper, and it was just from DC Comics, I believe. And then they started doing Elseworlds, and they created the Elseworlds logo. And so any reprints, any new editions of Gotham by Gaslight had the Elseworlds label on them. The Vertigo label for their mature titles came about while a bunch of series were running. So Sandman was already going, Swamp Thing, Shade the Changing Man, Doom Patrol. I think those were the 4 main ones. And so smack dab in the middle of their runs, not literally the middle, but they added Vertigo because people were lumping those comics together. So like if you had Sandman, and I don't remember what issue it was, but let's say if you were buying it every month, your first, let's say 15 issues did not say Vertigo because that didn't exist yet. But then from 16 on, they would all have Vertigo on the title. And then any reprints, any new editions, all say Vertigo. So this is a book that came out before Black Label existed. But they have it under their Black Label now. That was a lot of introduction for something that really isn't that important, except I'm very excited to have the Sleeper Omnibus from DC, Black Label. This is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and this was the book, the title that brought Ed Brubaker to my attention. It's possible I had read some things by him before and didn't pay attention. It's possible this is the first I ever read by him and Sean Phillips. But this is the story of, let me check the guy's name, Holden Carver. And he is working undercover to take down like a mob, kind of crime family, whatever. Think The Departed. But it's in a world of superheroes. And the only person who knows that he's an undercover agent, his boss, is in a coma. So it's one of those things where he can't, who's he going to trust? Who's he going to go to? Nobody knows that he's working undercover. And this, I have to look at the copyright page here. For those who care, this has Point Blank 1 through 5, Sleeper Season 1, 1 through 12, Sleeper Season 2, 1 through 12, Coup d'etat, Sleeper number 1, and Coup d'etat afterward number 1. So, big, thick, honkin' omnibus. Look at that beautiful Sean Phillips artwork. Just a really, really great story. As I said, think sort of The Departed in a world where there's superheroes and people with superpowers and stuff. Really, really cool. Was so excited when this was in the catalog, and so very excited that it came in. And I have not actually read all of the material. I know I read Season 1. I don't remember if I read Point Blank. I don't recall if I read Season 2. And I know I didn't read the 2 Coup d'etat one-shots. But, and then finally, again, they just pulled this out of the boxes, is the previews catalog and the DC previews was in there. No Marvel previews, but that's not surprising. So always excited to go through these and see what else I'm going to get. All right, that is all that I picked up this week. There was one thing on the invoice that didn't come in. There was one thing that came in that I did not pick up. And let me look on my phone. I think I got everything else. So I make this list on my phone. Got it. Yeah, so the only two things I did not get were the thing that didn't come in and the thing I left behind. A couple trade, well, one's a hardcover, one's a trade paperback. What are you going to do? Well, that's the way it goes. I don't have a question for you except the usual generic. Does any of this stuff catch your eye? What would be of interest to you? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share. I'm going to say subscribe, but a couple people pointed out the other day that I had 666 subscribers, and I kind of would like to keep it there. But then, then the channel's not growing. So please like, share, and subscribe. I'll live if I go above 666. If you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That is all I have for you this week. So until next week, read more comic books.